Hey, Choice here. Thank you so very much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for coming on and giving and sharing this with me. And he was talking to me about some of the things he learned in school. And it was very interesting to see that the topics now that they're covering, working to change the narrative and to indoctrinate our children with a new narrative rather than tell them the truth. So they're trying to add a little truth in the narratives, but standing clear of the truth. Yes. So I talked to him a little bit and I asked him how was school, and as usual, they go on to tell you how and what they are learning in school. Some children it's like pulling teeth. But other children, just once you ask them, they go on and on and on and on and on, and they basically tell you whatever it is that's going on. They give you a full blow-by-blow school life experience, their school life experience. He said something very interesting. He said that they were talking about various topics about reparations. And he said he doesn't need a handout. That people should not be looking for handouts. And that people should not blame others for the deeds, for the actions of their ancestors. It became a kind of a debate within himself because I listened. And as I listened to what he had to say, I saw the indoctrination process. Here's a child, youth, that is being indoctrinated on how to think. And now he said, oh, this is my idea. No one told me this. This is my opinion. No one told me what to say. Here I will say this. You know the subliminal messages. Now I'm not saying that he's not. He really truly believes that it is his own belief. And I won't say that it isn't coming from him. Because in essence, he does not need anyone's handout. He doesn't. All power is within him to do all nature of things for himself, and to accomplish whatever he so pleases, if that's the way that he chooses. So he does not need that. I just had him to think about where he may have even picked up this whole narrative. Where did it come from? Where did he first hear it? How did he come about knowing this? And then coming and making his own decisions and assumptions. And how was it delivered? See, people have a way of telling you how to think about things without you realizing it. And sometimes you have to check yourself and stop to think, okay, where did I get this information? And how did it come about? Where did I get this? How does he know anything about reparations? Did he get it from watching the news? Did he get it on social media? Did his teacher tell him? Was he discussing it with his friends? Was his parents teaching him or talking to him or sharing with him this idea? Did he see a poster? Did he hear it on the radio? This is how much is put out there, where you know something about something, you made up your mind about it, you've not lived through any of it because he's not old enough to have lived through any of that, but he has a solid mindset on this thing. And I did not try to sway him in one way or the other, but I did ask, where did you get the information? And how was it delivered? What did they say? How did you come to know this? And how much information do you have, a historical background of what is, to know whether or not reparations is something that is due, is owed? Do you have the whole or most of the whole story in order to come to a conclusion or become convinced of anything and set a belief system that you're willing to stand by? I'm just saying, a child comes in, you ask them about school, they tell you, everything about school. If they're talkative, if they're that way, or if they're feeling in the mood. And some of the topics that they speak about are questionable. It's questionable. Be sure you speak and you listen to your children. Hear them out. Find out what they're learning in school. Who's planting seeds and what are they planting? And then who's nurturing them? Who's watering them? And whatever they're coming up with for themselves, be sure that you give them a chance to know whether or not someone gave them that to believe, or whether or not it's something that they've come to feel for sense for themselves. And after doing research, or some people get the inspiration, that revelation kind of thing, and children are very open to receive right knowledge, right information, and know the difference. So anyway, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste.